This is your April 14th, 2017 edition of Pillar to Post, Episode 1, Part Number 2, here on YouTube.com. Now, we've got a lot of news to cover, so let's go through it. Kurt Angle on if he has taken his WWE physical. Also, does his role as Raw GM affect an in-ring return? The Hardy Boys are working this weekend's WWE Raw house shows. Also, Matt continues to struggle with conflict in his vessel. Randy Orton's hatred on his WrestleMania entrance because of the giant sperm. Braun Strowman on destroying Roman Reigns, and boy was it beautiful. Jerry Lawler on if he thinks WWE will fire JBL over the Mauro Ranallo controversy. And that is the last time I am discussing it. Finally, new finisher for Rollins. So let's do this the right way this time. We're going to cue that music up, and then let's discuss the shit out of this.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is Pillar to Post. Let me tell you, people, before I even talk about anything else, I just had the motherfucking worst time recording this episode. Not shitting you. Twice, I forgot that the volume on the microphone was off. And then 3 more times, I fucked up to the point where I just had to say, this is garbage. And I went back and redid it all. Now, luckily, I didn't get much further than the intro. And this time, that didn't even turn out the way I wanted as well. But it is what it is, and we're going to roll with it. So I want you to do me a favor. If you're watching me, don't care where it is, YouTube, please subscribe and like and continue to follow. Now remember, you got to also hit that little bell to get notifications every time I upload a video. A new format, like I stated yesterday. We are doing episode 1, part 1, 2, and 3. And that will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On top of that, we will be covering WWE Raw, SmackDown, and NXT Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Maybe if I don't piss off the wife too much, we might even cover Lucha Underground. I've watched it. I love it. I'm actually going all the way back to season 1, so that way I know what's all happened in Lucha Underground. It looks fucking brilliant. I've talked about it a few times. I've not one for men beating on women, but it is wrestling. It is what it is. So if the women can handle it, then a guy should be able to handle it. So now, let's get on with the news. And we're not going to go in particular order. What you heard me list off before the intro music is not the way I'm going to play this out. I'm going to start the show off with Rollins using a new finisher in house shows. Could this be a sign that we finally get to see him drop the dreaded pedigree he's been using? Because frankly, it looks like shit when Rollins executes the pedigree. Now, this is the article I found on this. I did watch a video of it as well. It looks cool. I'm going to explain it to you the way it looks. It looks like a short arm clothesline, but instead of a clothesline, he jumps up and delivers a knee to the jaw. Looks beautiful. I love the way it looked. So I'm hoping he continues to use it and start using it on the TV tapings or the live TV Raw. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible today. So as reported here on EWN, a dark match took place after Monday Night Raw went off the air last night. Seth Rollins came down to the ring to help Chris Jericho after he was being ambushed by Samoa Joe and the United States Champion Kevin Owens. Rollins' new finisher was reported to be similar to Kazuchika, not sure, Okada's, I'm going to just say Okada's Rainmaker. Now if you know Okada, you know the Rainmaker and what it looks like. But instead of the clothesline lariat that Okada does, Rollins uses his knee. The new finisher is supposed to symbolize the retirement of the pedigree and Seth Rollins moving on, as Rollins defeated Triple H at WrestleMania 33. Now I've gone back and rewatched that match, and it does come off a little bit better watching it the second time. I enjoyed it. I'm happy he finally wants to move on from using Triple H's finisher, because frankly, I don't care if you're supposed to be a man's protege or not. It does not mean you're supposed to take on his moves. Seth Rollins just didn't look good using it, and everyone complained. So it's good to see it's finally being put to bed, so to speak. Now, I did miss the match after Raw, but I did end up going back and watching it on YouTube. It looked good. Seeing, I think it was Kevin Owens who got the new finisher used on. So it ended it. Looked beautiful. I hope he continues to go with it. Moving on. Kurt Angle on if he has taken the WWE physical. Also, does his role as Raw GM affect his in-ring return? This week, Wrestling Inc. owner and president Raj Girl, or Giri, I thought I seen an L, sorry, caught up with WWE Hall of Famer and Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Among other things, Angle talked about things being different in WWE now, whether his current general manager role is preventing his in-ring return, and the Angle Strong app. When Jiri asked Angle what it is like to be back with WWE, the Wrestling Machine admitted that things are different in WWE now. Things are different today, he says. I mean, I think that the WWE runs a wholly and completely different program. I like the fact that they are more of a PG show. I think it helps from being a publicity traded company to selling merchandise to children, to being family oriented, and I love the fact that they've really got their stuff together with the wellness policy, the drug policy. It's a lot better atmosphere for the athletes, and the WWE has been catering to the athletes in the past 10 years better than they ever did before. Now, according to Angle, he does not expect to be performing in a WWE ring until the end of the year or 2018, and that happening hinges on the outcome of the physical examination. And he states, I don't know about soon. I think that the general manager role is going to last a little while. I don't think they want me to go any step further than that. But you do have to keep in mind that until I take the physical, no in-ring return will happen, Angle continued. I don't know when it's going to occur, but I'd say it'd most likely occur. But I'd say probably near the end of the year is what I'm guessing, and I really don't know. Angle noted that he has not taken a physical to return to the ring. In Angle's estimation, WWE officials want to see how the American Hero does for a little bit before letting him back into the squared circle as a competitor. Angle also hinted to Triple H at the very beginning of their talks that he did want to wrestle again, and he said, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You're going to have to take a physical and you're going to have to pass. So he said, let's just take it one step at a time. Angle continues, I really believe, and this was not mentioned by anybody, and this is my own belief, I really believe they want to see how I do. They want to see if I really am the person I say I am. That I've been staying clean for 4 years, that I've got my life together, that I have everything on track. It's a bit of a longer process, but you've got to earn back trust. Coming from my own addictions, I agree. You lose that trust in anybody's faith, and it's going to take time to get that trust back. It's glad to see that he's being patient about it. I know as fans, we want to see Angle back in the ring because there's a lot of potential matches he could have. Many, either on Raw or on SmackDown. There's so many that he could have a match with and really put on a fucking clinic with. I'm happy that WWE wants to take their time, especially that Triple H says he wants to take the time to get there, because they do have to earn, or Angle does have to earn their trust back. He was abusing drugs and alcohol very seriously when he was with WWE, as well as his beginning with TNA. So I'm glad they're all on all sides in agreement for him to take his time to build up that confidence in him and the trust in all sides. And maybe when we get to see Angle back in the ring, it is going to be fan-fucking-tastic. I can't fucking wait for it. I don't care if I have to wait till 2018. I'd rather see and make sure that Angle's ready for it than him just jumping in and we end up having him gone again because substance abuse and wellness policy violations and bullshit like that. He may have been clean for 4 years, but he's also back with WWE. That means a lot more travel, a lot more stress. GM role, it's not as stressful as being the wrestler, but it's still a lot of traveling he's got to do. So that could put too much stress on the guy. He could revert back to his old habits. We don't want to see it, but it's a possibility. I don't think anyone else wants to talk about it, but I've been down that road. I've been addicted to morphine. I've been an alcoholic. And I say been because I'm not an alcoholic. I haven't touched, well, I drink. I drink very reservedly. I have a glass of wine every now and then, homemade brew. I have a glass of Coke and rye every now and then. Nothing major. So, do I count myself an alcoholic? No. I do admit to being an addict when it comes to morphine because I still have days when the pain gets bad. I want it. It does grab a hold of you. But I'm going to move on. Jerry Lawler, on if he thinks and believes if WWE will fire JBL over the whole Mauro Ranallo controversy. Now, Jerry Lawler also runs a show called Dinner with the King, and it's hosted by Jerry the King Lawler and Glenn Moore. The King discussed his opinion on the recent JBL controversy with Mauro Ranallo, including how ribs and joking around are prevalent in pro wrestling's culture. These are the words straight out of Jerry Lawler's mouth. I'm a JBL fan, Lawler stated. Here's the thing about JBL. You have to know the guy. And if you don't get an opportunity to really know JBL, you can be offended. JBL is a funny guy. He's a big guy. He's boisterous. He comes across as sometimes crude and loud. But you gotta know him. That's just JBL. He's the same guy on commentary as he is in the catering. Lawler also felt that JBL will not be fired by WWE over the incident. I don't think so. But hey, that's my opinion, he says. I don't think he will, not over something like this. While the fans are screaming for it, it might not be that they actually believe he should be fired. They are pissed off because Mauro Ranallo's gone. And you know what? You guys just made it fun because JBL, the more he's shamed, the more it's going to intrigue fans to just keep on saying, fire JBL. You know, it's just going to keep on going. So that ends the whole Mauro Ranallo incident with JBL. I will not be discussing it past that article. Unless it's big enough to bring up again. Unless. Braun Strowman took to Twitter after destroying Roman Reigns. I love what he has to say here. It was beautifully done. Braun Strowman tweeted the following after destroying Roman Reigns and tipping the ambulance on last night's Raw. Or this week's Raw, I should say. Speculation is that Reigns versus Strowman may take place in an ambulance match or a stretcher match at the April 30th WWE Payback pay-per-view. Braun Strowman tweeted, "Your yard? 4 question marks. Welcome to my nightmare. Hashtag monster among men." And goddamn straight he's a monster among men. He made that look beautiful. The fans chanting to Roman Reigns, "You deserve it," was beautiful. I wish it came across better on TV. I would have loved to have been there live. Fans were chanting for Braun Strowman. They basically, instead of making us feel sympathy for Roman Reigns, they made us want Braun Strowman as a face. They really fucked up with that segment. It was supposed to make Braun Strowman look bad. It made him look so fucking glorious, man. Beautiful. I am not going to hate on a man that destroys Roman Reigns as Braun Strowman did this past Monday. Now moving on, and I talk about this because 1, it is news. 2, after rewatching Randy Orton's entrance, I have to agree with the sumbitch. Now, I'm not a big Randy Orton fan, but this made me laugh. Randy Orton on hating his WrestleMania entrance because it looked like a giant sperm, or that he was riding a giant sperm down to ringside. Let's talk about it. Randy Orton was a guest at his hometown of St. Louis's recent Wizard World Convention, held last weekend on April 7th to April 9th. During his Q&A, the WWE World Champ was brutally honest about his entrance at WrestleMania 33, which saw him walk down the 80-yard ramp while a viper was projected beneath his feet. As Orton told the crowd, including one pre-teen boy who asked him about it, he's often screwed out of entrances like the ones Triple H gets. He particularly disliked this year's because the snake looked like a giant sperm. He reiterated his thoughts on the Mania 33 entrance when he told the crowd he loved Big Four pay-per-view events, but WrestleMania can have downsides like having to ride a giant sperm to ringside. I have to agree. After rewatching it, at first I thought it was cool, the effects beneath them on the ramp, and then rewatching it, that head on that viper just was done way too big. The tail end was too short, and it did resemble a giant sperm. And Randy Orton, the cowboy, riding it down the ringside. So, after rewatching, it's funny looking. and I do agree. He's got every right to be upset. He should be getting better pay-per-view entrances, but he's going to have to win over the fans a little bit more, because right now he is the WWE champion for SmackDown, and he's dull. He hasn't brought us anything new. He hasn't brought us any reason to cheer him or to be excited that he is the new champion. We want to see something new out of Randy Orton. So either he brings us something new, or he's going to be riding a giant sperm at next year's WrestleMania. My thoughts, my opinion. Now, the Hardy Boys discuss on working this weekend's WWE Raw house shows. And Matt talks about, Matt continues to struggle with conflict within his vessel. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over my words. I forgot to take a drink because my mouth is fucking dry. So, the article. Before they re-debuted for WWE at WrestleMania 33, one of the alleged sticking points of Matt and Jeff Hardy's negotiations with Vince McMahon's company was whether they would work a full-time schedule, complete with 4 days a week on the road, or something more along the lines of Brock Lesnar or Goldberg's part-time deals, which primarily consist of television and pay-per-view appearances. The Hardys are still finishing up a handful of independent dates this month, but Matt also revealed recently they'll be on the road with WWE this weekend, April 14th to 16th, in addition to next Monday's Raw. So, Matt Hardy's tweeted, Jeff and I will be appearing at these WWE #Raw events this weekend. Friday, Providence, Rhode Island. Saturday, Champaign, Illinois. Sunday, Cincinnati, Ohio. Monday, Columbus, Ohio. And he goes on, the article goes on to say, this doesn't necessarily mean the boys are on the road again like it was 1999. The current Red Brand Tag Champs could be working a less than full-time schedule, which includes some house shows similar to how WWE will accommodate guys like Chris Jericho or John Cena. Time will tell. Time will also tell what exactly is going on with Matt, who issued 2 versions of the above tweet, one slightly more broken than the other. So I read you the other one. This is the next one. Brother Nero and I will be present at these #Raw events, forthcoming, and same places. And when a fan pointed out to the Elder Hardy, he confessed to some issues reconciling his 2 most famous gimmicks. He tweeted, between laugh out loud, you really are struggling between 2 personas, #broken, #extreme, with the same tweet in 2 different ways. Intriguing. And that was from some random dude at whatever. Matt Hardy retweeted, there is an enormous conflict within my vessel. Now, there are rumors that say Matt could be using the broken universe at some point in his WWE career, or he could end up Savage. We'll just have to fucking wait and see. I do love the Hardy Boys. I'm glad they're back in action. I actually do like it that they are giving a little bit more time at the beginning to the fans. The fans are happy to see them. But they are a team we don't need to see on the road all the time. I want to see them a little bit more than just at pay-per-views. A few shows here and there. Big pay-per-views. They don't need to wear themselves out. We know Jeff, when he gets in the ring, and it is a stipulation match such as TLC or ladder matches, he's going to go high risk, and he's going to hurt himself eventually. We don't want to see that on their return. We want to see a version of the broken universe. A Savage universe might be interesting. Who knows? We're going to see very soon. It's going to take some time, and we need to be fucking patient. Now, lastly, if you didn't notice, while you were watching Raw, and also on SmackDown, the segment with Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and Maurice at the top of Raw, when he went and wrapped his arms around both of them in a hug, where he believed that Miz was Cena and Maurice was Nikki, if you looked at his hand, you would have seen a wedding ring. SmackDown, or I should say Talking Smack, it was also noticed on Renee Young. So, very quietly, Dean Ambrose and Renee Young got married. Here's the story. Eagle-eyed observers noticed something different about Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose when he made his return to Raw during the first night of the WWE's Superstar Shakeup on Monday, April 10th. Specifically, there was something different about his left hand. When next we saw Dean's lady, Renee Young, on Talking Smack during the second night of the Shakeup, she too was sporting some finger bling. After both Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens teased her about the ring and some news she hadn't shared yet. In exchanges like this one, Young, what do you got? An apple in your hand? ? Dolph says, yeah, what's in your hand? What's wrong with your fingers? Young puts her hand under the desk and says nothing. Ziggler goes on and says, I just want you to know it was a personal request to get rid of Dean Ambrose by myself. Thank you guys, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, both. Young replies, you're a ridiculous human being, and this even more awkward one. Owens, by the way, congratulations. You know why I'm saying congratulations. Bryan, because we got you. Maybe ? Owens, that? But also this big news, right? Am I allowed to? Is this a thing ? McMahon, I don't know if we're talking about that. Owens, no. McMahon, no. Owens, well, I'm talking about it. What are you going to do if I talk about it ? Young, well, I say congratulations for you to be here on SmackDown. That's the thing that we need to be talking about. For you to be here on SmackDown and to be able to make an impact with the United States Championship. That was enough to set internet sleuths a searching, and before long, what appeared to be a copy of their marriage certificate was being shared on Twitter, along with some disturbing exchanges in the comment sections of sites like Tumblr. Now, it was enough that early this morning, Young all but confirmed the news, as even her employer's official website got in on the business of speculating about the Total Diva star's marital status. Renee Young took to Twitter, and this is what she said. Marriage is nice. Thanks for all the love. And then she goes on to say, before I say anything else, on behalf of the entire Cage Side Seat community, I want to wish Dean and Renee nothing but the best. Personally, I concur. Marriage is nice. These crazy kids seem like they'll probably dig it, and there's no reason to think they don't deserve the happiness committing to your partner can bring. But it's hard to not consider the response from some corners of the wrestling fandom, and their hesitancy to break the news in the light of the past comments they've made about receiving death threats or being stalked by folks who don't like them as a couple. As if that's something anyone but they maybe... Wow, that came out weird. As if that's something anyone but they are, or but they and maybe their loved ones get a say in. Sorry for fucking up that last line. So, they are married. It's all good. I don't have a problem with it. It's their fucking life. We might not enjoy Dean Ambrose as a wrestler as much as some other people, but what is their personal life has, it's theirs. They can do with it as they please. I don't know why anyone would even be offended that they were to get married. if they love each other, they should be allowed to. So, congrats to Dean Ambrose and Renee Ambrose, I guess. Now, that is the final article I am reading to you today. Remember, if you enjoyed yourself, if you enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe, like, and the little bell to get notifications from yours truly. This was Pillar to Post. Like I said, had a great time. I want you to continue watching. Share this on Twitter. Spread it around your friends. Help a guy grow a brand here. I thank you again, and I am saying good night.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is Pillar to Post.